April 2nd, 2013. We did get the fireplace parts. Actually, I got the old one out and the new one in, and in the shipment, a couple of the logs got cracked because they're made of, I wouldn't say they're made of porcelain, but they're made of almost cement type material. And one of the things we was reading about when we ordered it up is that shipment would probably come, some of the comments that were made, they come broke, which is, you can see why, because of the packing. It wasn't packed. The logs weren't wrapped properly, and the box wasn't labeled at all. Fragile, beware, or handle with care because of fragile material or anything. So with that, most boxes are just pitched around back and forth, and especially since it comes from the company, goes to Amazon, and then Amazon ships it out to us. So not really much you could do, because there's just not much you can do. So we went around a couple of fireplace places, and they have replacements, of course, but we wanted to get these fixed, cemented, and it seemed like online was the same thing to get them. How do you repair a broken log? Replace it. You don't repair it. No, there's ways that you can drill. You're supposed to drill and put like a pin in them, and then you can seal them back together. So, but we got some what is it called? Fireplace cement. So high temperature. A lot of the stuff we looked at didn't really have a higher temperature, so you could put in the fireplace. Like 600 was the highest rating that we found, but then we found the actual fireplace cement, and it goes up to like 2,000 degrees. So that's pretty hot, but it's got to set for 24 hours. So we got the logs together, they're curing. But in the meanwhile, I took a couple of the older original logs and stuck in there just to fire it up and see how it worked. And it looks pretty good. It's got a little thermostat control on it, and we'll have to readjust that to get it positioned so at least we'll shut the thing on and off without it just being manually turned on and off. So that was one of the things that we ordered this one, is we wanted the thermostatic control for it. So little adjustments are going to be done there, and we should have it up and going for your viewing pleasure tomorrow. Because the boys are down there now, and we'll just have to leave them be. Don't disturb them. The other thing, so what was we talking about? The truck, because we were driving the truck around, and Gordon's beginning to like more and more the truck. It is a Ford 150. I think it's like a 97, 98. I think it's 98, and it's a newer model. I think they made those from 98 to 2000 something. But when you look, it looks pretty new. It's pretty newer looking. So surprisingly, yes, Gordon really likes, beginning to really like it. It was a few weeks ago we went and put some tires on it, because we had it loaned out for a bit. The guy who found it for us, the friend that he knew, and we got it from him, and it was here for a bit, and the whole reason was that we got it because Charles wanted to pick up that Gordon did some sweet talking and talked the guy into son and start to drive, but he needs, and the guy can understand that. Gordon was telling me the story today that it was sitting at the repair shop, and the guy wanted it off his lot, and Mike was doing some flipping a house and needed the outside painted. So he knew this guy who does the painting, he's a painter, does paint work, and knew that he had the truck, and then arranged to go take a look at it. And then as soon as Gordon seen it, he said, "I want it." So he talked the guy into. He got it real reasonable. He got it for $300. But he was reluctant because he didn't really want to give it to Mikey, and for a number of reasons. And we ended up getting the truck and giving it to Mikey anyway for a couple of years, and then he finally told him, "Hey, we need the truck back." And hopefully this spring Charles will start driving, and I'd like to see him in it because it is, you don't have to worry about wrecking your truck. You can drive into a ditch and run into things and not really worry about it's safe that way. But as Gordon says, he's probably going to learn how to drive in the little Nissan car because it is smaller, easier to handle, maneuver, blah 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 blah. But anyway, we was just talking a lot about the truck and the history, and because when we got it, it was we even took pictures. It had some graphics on the side because he was a painter, so I had such and such Minnetonka painter, blah blah blah. And Mikey was pretty good. He knew how to not only did we pull the stickers off, but you could see where it had faded. So you had the original paint back behind the sticker, and then the faded paint on the outside. But he knew to get some buffing. There's like a buffing compound, and then you can buff it out so it blend it all in. So we got took a bit. He had to go get a higher compression because he had a what do you call it, air tools, and it was a higher compression that you can really put some pressure on it and buff the image, because you can still, if you took the sticker off, you can still see the image of what it was said on the door. So I was able to grind it down, but there's a polishing compound that you can put on, and it'll blend the surfaces to the same type. The other thing we had to do, because it not only had that, but it had like a big toolbox thing mounted in the back of the bed. We get that all mounted and unloaded, and Gordon still wanted to keep that, so it's sitting out in the shop. We decided to put that back in. But there were some big racks. If you've ever seen these trucks that have those racks that hold the ladders, so it was open bed, these big metal racks, and the racks had long rusted out, so it's really not pretty at all. But we was able to unbolt those, and a couple of them were really rusted into the truck bed. So we had one of those things you put on a drill. What is it? It's not like a grinder, but it's like a diamond cutter. That you can shear those bolts right off there. So just cut those babies right off. Use it to see, what was it? I was doing some exhaust work, and some of those clamps underneath the exhaust, they get so heat forged on there. There's no way that you can ratchet them back off. So one thing you do is cut them off and put in new clamps to hold the exhaust. So it's that tool that we usually use to cut through metal, and especially metal nuts and bolts. They seem like they're more high temperature density material type of steel. That because usually like exhaust you can cut through a hacksaw. Done a lot of exhaust jobs, and exhaust isn't that big of a deal. But to get those bolts out of there is a big deal. So usually you gotta be able to cut those babies out of there, because you try to hacksaw, you'll be there half the day. Learn that quick. It's just within 15 seconds, it's like snap, get those bolts out of there. Anyway, got the rack off, got the door doors, both doors, sanded down, so the imprinted the images were all. And then the interior, because he was a painter, he had paint everywhere over inside. The carpet was trashed and stuff, so we pulled out. Like I said, Mikey was there, and so both of us yanked out the seat, yanked out the carpet, and put all new carpet in there, and mounted the seat back in. Seat is almost in the condition that it needs to be replaced. There's still some, paint residue splashed up on the dash and stuff, but when you pay $300 for it, you can't complain. But overall, it's really a nice looking. It's got four chrome style mags on it, so it looks, with the raised white lettering on the tires. So once all the graffiti stuff, everything that made it look like a work truck is gone now. Then it's like a regular pickup truck. And it is white, so it really looks, when you washed it and cleaned it up, looks really good. So really starting to like the truck now. It has a V6, not a V8, so it is not really a gas hog as a V8 would be. That would be more of a thing. The other thing that was used for that Mikey did on the side when he had it for a couple of years, it was towing. Because he would not only buy sell cars, but he would pick them up and you get a pretty good chunk of change if you take them in and have them salvaged out, because it's the weight of the steel. You can get $200-300 for it. So if you can pick up an old car that needs to be hauled away, that's what he did. He just put his little ad in there and get people to call him, and he'd go by and he'd slap down a couple $100, and then see what he'd do. He had two ways he could pull off. I went with him one day just to see how he was doing it, and of course his biggest cost was bringing the dolly to be able to tow the car, and we almost got into the point that we was going to go in 50-50 with him and buy a car dolly, because if we decided to do cars or decided to do that, if you're releasing or renting a dolly every time, you got to take that off your top end. So that money's more, teaching money in your pocket. But he would cut off there's a torque converters, catalytic converter, pollution control converter underneath in the exhaust, part of the exhaust system. And if you cut those out, you get anywhere from, depending on the quality and density of the material that's still in them, that's what was valuable. That you could get anywhere from $50 to about $85 just for the catalytic converter. So he was cutting off the converter, and then there was a place that he could take the alternators and starters to. So he was popping off the alternators and starters, and so just in parts there, he was getting close to $100, and then like I said, salvaging it out for another $200-300. You can make a couple $100 in a day pretty easy. Especially if you got one of the bigger. I went with him that day, and we got one of the bigger older cars and hauled that in. Made some money. There's a couple of smaller cars we hauled in. It was over a couple of day period, and made some money on those. And I was looking at one of these big old conversion vans. Those are really heavy. He said he knew he could really cash those in and make some money. But it was a good hauler. So the truck is it was a 3/4 ton. So it's heavy duty, but it has the smaller engine, so it's very fuel economy as well. And we decided to get a boat, which maybe I'll have no problem pulling that, and we want to get a topper for it, so at least you can carry stuff in the back without having to lock it up. Because at this point, you go to the grocery store, you can unload all the groceries behind the seat, because it's open in the back, and get a topper for it, a nice white topper. People have it for a bit. Plus, we want to do some things around here, and it's just nice to have the truck. It's like when we replaced the washer and dryer. It was nice to have the truck that we could just go and get a good deal on the washer and dryer and pick them up. Because you'll pick them up and put them in yourself and save more money that way, and get rid of the other ones as well. So it's already had some pretty good use, and I know we want to finish up the garage, finish the insulation and put up the sheetrock. So we're waiting for the truck to come back to do that. So definitely going to get its use out of it. But that's the jargon for today was truck. That was pretty cool. I got to drive it today, so I'm pretty happy as well. 15 minutes. Just stop. Didn't get to. I clicked the wrong button and logged off. We get to play the song yesterday, but we're going to play. I did give Gordon his birthday present. His tickets to Gordon Lightfoot. So he was really happy about that yesterday. I told him, April Fool, this ain't no April Fools. And you got tickets and they're time sensitive and they're going to expire at the end of the month. So you better open this present. And he did. So Gordon Lightfoot, end of this month, basically the 29th. And like I said, I got it. So should be excellent concert. Because it's 50 years on the road, Carefree Highway Tour, and you should do some really good classics. So, looking forward to that. April 2nd, 2013.